Hi, my name is Jared Sperlin, and I worked with Elizabeth Nash, Sydney Walters, and Frederick Russell, and we investigated nocturnality shifts in mammal populations. By the way, this is my old house, and this is my old camera trap photo of my friend Ricky the raccoon, and we'll be telling his story today. So our little introduction here. As we all know, human population growth has exploded, and we just hit 8 billion people the other day on Earth. And this is combined with habitat loss because we need more space for humans to occupy. And this is thus leading to human and wildlife conflicts increasing because human and wildlife are in such close proximity. This is also leading to animals either dying, getting flushed out of their habitats, or adapting. Here's Ricky. You can notice it's 2 a.m. What's unknown is how are the animals exactly shifting their schedules or actions in result to this human interference? There are a few previous studies on this temporal avoidance that we've been looking at, and Gaynor et al. In 2018 suggested that there is increased nocturnality across all mammal species. This is primarily the argument we're looking at. Here's Ricky with one of his friends at 11 p.m. Objectives. So, our main objective was to investigate whether mammal nocturnality increases in order to avoid humans. We wanted to pretty much validate Gaynor's study in 2018. We also were looking at what times mammals are most active in relation to human disturbance to the landscape. For example, where we're comparing urban landscapes versus rural landscapes versus wild landscapes, each having a different level of human disturbance. Again, there's Ricky, and it is 4 a.m. Ricky's still out and about. Our methods. We used camera trap data from Snapshot USA, which is a great program, and it's a data sharing program of camera trap photos. We included US and European data sets, and all mammal detections were used. We conducted our analysis using Tableau software, and we graphed the percent total count of population identified with the time of day. I'll have one of those graphs in the next slide and you can see it. We also graphed the development groups, and by the way, this is a deer not taken from my camera photos. This is a Snapshot USA picture, but it was taken at 4 in the afternoon, just noted. And our results show this is Ricky's activity timeline. Not Ricky particularly, but all raccoons, northern raccoons. And as you can tell, the green or teal color there is the urban population, orange is the wild population, and that blue is the rural population. We can see that northern raccoons are showing an increase in their activity from 1 to 6 a.m. This is interesting because if you look at the wild population, they are much lower in activity. You can also tell that during the day, the wild populations are out and about much more than the urban populations here, relatively close to 0 detections. You can tell that the urban populations also shoot up in detections right when the sun starts to go down at about 5-6 p.m. And that's interesting because that supports Gaynor's hypothesis that nocturnality is increasing because we can tell that the urban population are more active than the wild population in these very early morning hours. Now, if we look at white-tailed deer, we can show they have a decrease in activity from 0 to 5 a.m. Now, this is completely opposite to the northern raccoons. You can tell here that the rural and wild populations are much higher than the urban populations in activity. But the urban populations spike at about 7 a.m. when the sun's coming up, and then throughout the day, they're relatively more active than the wild populations, with a relative peak at about 6 p.m., 7 p.m., right when the sun starts to go down, and then they become less active again. So this is again contradictory towards the northern raccoon results and Gaynor's experiment. So this leads us to our conclusions. We didn't find a definite conclusion. The results are species dependent. As we could tell with the northern raccoons, they increased their nocturnality, but white-tailed deer did not. So this could be because some species are more people-friendly. For example, the white-tailed deer know that they have this people shielding, this protection from humans. So in neighborhoods and residential areas, they're out more often because they know that you can't touch them. The government's going to come at you, your neighbors are going to come at you. So it's interesting to see this balance, and each species is different. And there's much more research to go into this, and we do not have a definite conclusion to write on, but we are looking to expand our research and investigate more species. Thank you for listening. Hope you enjoy.